Are you addicted to emotions? If you're anything like me, I clearly have been addicted to my emotions my entire life. So I used to think that if, you know, my relationship was better, or I had more money, or my friend or my family or whatever it is changed, then I would feel good. And what I've come to realize, and through science and spirituality, is recognizing that all of our patterning, all of our habitual ways, is all based upon what we've created and the emotions that we have created upon ourselves and our epigenetics that have created our personality, that has created our habitual ways, that has created our addiction to the chemistry of who we are. And so today I want to talk a little bit about how do we actually move past those patterns, and how do we evolve our species and ourselves so that we can actually live the divine lives that we are designed to live. Hi there, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super honored and excited to take this divine journey with you today on this podcast. Each week we come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and really come together for one of the universal laws, living a spiritual principle that we can take into our lives every day this week, and some affirmations, some affirmative mind treatment prayers, and just really knowing the truth together, coming together for case studies in the spiritual psychology school and things that have us really live the enlightenment state. How do we actually transcend beyond our lineage? And that's what we're here to do. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Erin, Dr. Divinity, and I'm the founder of Spiritual Psychology School and Society Community. And I'm just somebody probably just like you. I'm obsessed with consciousness, obsessed with enlightenment, obsessed with all the work, and coming to bring you all the wisdom of decades in this work and working with thousands of people across the globe to help us all transcend our subconscious mind, our trauma of this lifetime and past lifetimes, and going beyond. So let's do this thing. So this week's spiritual principle, we're going to talk about emotional mastery and really looking at, are you addicted to your emotions? Well, if you're a human, you're addicted to your emotions because your emotions are creating your personality, and your personality and the sum total of everything we've created is really our karma of this lifetime. So, a spiritual principle, the universal law of this week is the universal law of allowing. There's one universal law. It is the law of cause and effect, the law of oneness, whatever you want to call it. But there's many, many distinctions. And in my oracle cards in the deck and in the book, we go into this. So, universal law of allowing is this week. We're going to go into that. And then the spiritual practice this week, we're going to have one distinction for you to take into your week this week. So, just sharing a personal story. I have been taking some time for myself lately. As you guys know, I've been doing a very deep spiritual practice, but one thing I've been doing also is I've been taking multiple hours every day to advance my own learning, growing, and research, which I love doing so much. And this week has been a lot about the spectrum of the frequency and how we're creating our reality, right? How the spectrum goes from the 0 point field into creating, everything from gamma rays, X-rays, the light, into infrared, into the hertz of the physical realm. And what I really am coming to for myself is that I'm a seeker. I'm a true seeker. And the real conversation that I'm interested in is the conversation of, what do I actually get to take with me when I leave this lifetime? Right? Like, what's the point of all this? And you could say, hey, there's no point, and it's just for enjoyment to, enjoy being alive as a human being, right? You go deeper into that. And what are we? When we transition, we can't take these bodies with us. We can't take our belongings. We can't take, our false identity, right? What are we actually doing here? And this is really the conversation I dive into when I'm doing more and more research, because I believe we can transcend. I believe we could have enlightenment in this lifetime. However, we're here to evolve the species. And so that's why we're here in this school called life, right? This earth school. So the real question I have for myself personally, and I've really been contemplating this as I always do. I'm a very kind of deep thinker. I'd love to be goofy and funny, but the reality is that my heart is just in that space always around what are we actually doing here and how do I become the divine self as a human? And so the real question that I think about and what I think really matters, I go, well, if I leave this lifetime, what have I done? And I think about one, the evolution of consciousness for the collective. How do I evolve the consciousness of the collective, right? The second thing I think about is the legacy of organizing the ancient wisdoms that have been lost through, corruption of quote the church or through, the burning of the witches, if you will. We've lost so much wisdom and we've made it into education, which is not necessarily truth. So I think about one, the evolution of the species, two, of the organization of ancient truth, the real truth. And then the third thing I think about of what we leave is our children. How healed are our children and how much have we given them to have the capacity of knowing truth? So I've been really diving into that conversation. So I want to just leave you with those thoughts within your own conversation. And these are the things that we answer in the school. These are the things that we help train the the coaches in E4 to help clear out the soul and do a lot of that deep awakening work. And this is what we do in the spiritual psychology mastery, is understanding the advanced ancient teachings of universal law and how we actually are manifesting, how we're evolving, and how we use the frequencies of being able to create and manifest in the physical realm, and how we can actually transcend ourselves through the process, right? So taking a deep breath together. Let's just do a spiritual mind treatment together. I recognize in this divine present moment the truth of who I am, the truth of who you are. I recognize that you are truth. I recognize that you are immortal, eternal spiritual being, and that you are God in form, that you are the divine, that you are the true wisdom of all lifetimes in the quantum field as 0 point, expressing itself as the inverted form of, of the one, of God's source, that you are that and I am that, and collectively in the fragment of the fractals, we are the source. The source is within us. And I recognize right here, right now, that you are here to evolve the species, that you're here to evolve your own DNA and free yourself from your own epigenetics. You are here to leave a legacy. You are here to evolve, whether you have children or whether you live and leave a legacy in another form. And you're here to experience this incredible thing called life. And so I simply know this in the name of truth, as together we say, and so it is. Okay, so this week I just want to come together, as we always do each week, to leave you with something to practice this week, something to embody. And so, universal law this week is the law of allowing. And also, before we go a little bit further, if most of the time I do solo podcasts here. I will be having more interviews and more coaching and Q&As, but I would love it if you give a review, a 5-star review. It helps get this podcast out, share it with friends. You can do these practices together. It's very fun to have a spiritual practice with your girlfriends or guy friends, okay? Also, you can apply to come on the podcast. I will be doing more coaching and teaching more truth around that. And then you can share and subscribe, okay? That would really help. Thank you. Okay, so the law of allowing. So the quote today for law of allowing is, stop trying to fix, change, or control anyone. And trust me, I know this very well because I've been codependent for most of my life, as we all are. We hand our power over to people, places, and things. So stop trying to fix, control, or change anyone, right? So this law states that life is a flow of energy. It's an exchange of energy. This really is that the moment we put a negative meaning or we're trying to control, we're basically resisting. And so what we're actually doing is, we're creators, you're a creator. And so what you're resisting is actually what you're energizing. And whatever you energize is actually expanding that. So the more you resist something, the actually more you're creating it into existence. So the art of allowing is really allowing the flow of life to happen. not resist anything, and then choose to create what you choose to create, right? So this is always a way of, it's a feedback mechanism, right? The whole universal law is a feedback mechanism. So you want to allow whatever it is that you don't necessarily enjoy and pivot and create what you do want to create, okay? And so in this, you can grab the Universal Law deck, and you can also grab the book as well on my website, drerin.tv, or you can go to Amazon as well. So beyond that, I wanted to say today that there is a journal practice. You can grab that below as well. There's a manifesting challenge that you get all the universal law distinctions, 52 lessons, and you can grab the worksheet and we will work that together. So the journaling to this week is make a list of everything that you are resisting in your life and what you wish, and I'm sorry, and then ask yourself, what do you wish was different? Right? So make a list of where you're resisting, and then make a list of basically what you wish was different, meaning what you would create out of it. So write a list of all the ways these circumstances are demanding you to grow. So write everything you're resisting and realize, hey, if the universe is actually working for my growth, how is it actually working for me? Okay. And just make a list of that. And then in the school, what we do and what we'll be doing more on here is when we want to move past emotions, right? And recognize that we are not just addicted to these emotions, because we are. We're all addicted to our emotions. What we've done in the past, we go over and over again, and we want to feel good. And whatever we've done before to survive, we keep doing because that's our feedback mechanism. So if we want to move past this, there is a key. There is a massive key to moving past emotions. And it's not just bypassing the emotions, it's not just transmuting the emotions, but it's actually using our faculty, our greatest faculty, which is imagination. And when we hold the imagination and the mental picture of what we truly desire, backed by really profound breath work and quantum manifesting, that is how we move past and we release our emotions and we create new, not emotions, because emotions are generally negative. We actually use the energy, energizing the mental picture. So that's what we do in the school as well. If you want to get trained in learning how to quantum manifest through advanced breath work and things like that, you can also click the links below. But beyond that, let's just take a deep breath together. And I just recognize this week as a new opportunity to embody truth, a new opportunity to really experience the miracle that life is. And I'm knowing this week for us to embody the law of allowing, for us to know that whatever we release to fix, change, or alter, it is done. We release it into the ethers, and we know the creator that we are. We choose to create the mental picture using the greatest faculty we have, which is imagination. We move past emotional addiction, all of our past chemistry, and we move past that by using our greatest faculty, imagination, and doing quantum manifesting. I simply know this in the name of truth, as together we say, and so it is. Okay, you guys have a beautiful week. Please subscribe, give a review, and let me know, who you want to have on the podcast. Going to be having interviews and more Q&A. You can also apply to be on the podcast as well. I'm sending you guys so much love. Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth.